JC Tickets provides first-class trips to Ravens road games, including airfare, 4-star hotels, game tickets, and cocktail parties. We also help provide great seating locations to all Ravens home games. JC Tickets, where the games begin. Visit us at jctickets.net.
Ravens Wrap is sponsored by Bud Light, jctickets.net, Geico Insurance, Dunaway Furniture, Ocean City Golf Club, RussellStreetReport.com, Comfort Inn Gold Coast, Holiday Inn Express, BuyAToyota.com, your official site for Toyota deals, the original Green Turtle, hosted by the Blue Ox Bar and Grill.
And welcome back in. It is the original Green Turtles Ravens Wrap Show on Comcast Beach TV. And now this season on WNDT, TV channel 47 and 93.5 The Beach. Back for another season here coming to you from the Ravens Room at the Blue Ox Bar and Grill, 127th Street and Coastal Highway in Ocean City. A beautiful Ravens Room. You got to stop on down. We've got 5 chances this season for you to win Ravens tickets. We've got hotel stays, and we've also got Bud Light prize packages. So we want to see you down here at the Blue Ox Bar and Grill Wednesdays. The show starts at 7 and doors open at 5:30 with food and drink specials. Hey, we're amongst Ravens fans, including Ravens Roost 44. Give yourselves a hand once again, everybody. I'm Mike Bradley. To my left, former All-Pro safety, Baltimore Colt, Bruce Laird, and to his left from Endless Golf and the Resort Golf Guy, Bobby Vermillion. Guys, welcome back once again on the panel here on this beautiful set from Dunaway Furniture as we continue to talk about the 23-21 win over the Cleveland Browns. And just quickly, guys, I understand Roger Goodell and the NFL with their scheduling division games early in the year, but more importantly, late in the year, so those games are meaningful. We saw a couple years ago where teams could basically rest their starters the last 2-3 games of the season, and fans weren't getting their money's worth, etc. However, to start the year for the Ravens, and I know no schedule is going to be perfect, I get that, but 3 straight division games, I thought that was a bit excessive, although we did have 9 days after the 2 games, Sunday and Thursday. But to come out from the AFC North division games, Bruce, at 2-1, that is huge.
It is huge, and that's exactly where everybody thought we would be. With Cincinnati being so much the class of the division in the last couple of years. They came in M&T Stadium and played well. We didn't play well enough, again, giving up some cheap touchdowns. And the back 7, right now, the back 7 of our defense are not playing well in pass. The linebackers at times are not getting their depth. They're not getting their drops in the right location. And of course, our safety issue is an issue. And I think Dean Pease and Steve, the defensive coach, Spagnuolo, I'll be working on that all week, trying to get that squared away. But they got to fix that in the back end, Bobby, or as we move forward. The schedule is favorable when you see some of the teams we're going to be playing, but you got to fix the back end.
You got to fix the back end, and you saw Ladarius Webb come back this week, and he was definitely not himself. He was a shell of Ladarius Webb, but it was good to see him back on the field. If you take a look, like you said, at 2-1, the first 3 games, all division opponents. Right now, you look at the Ravens and who's been injured. We're without, obviously, Ray Rice is no longer a part of the team, and then Ladarius Webb doesn't play till this week. You have to say, with a new offensive coordinator, the way the team has played, as a Ravens fan, you got to be pretty proud and pretty happy with the season so far.
Guys, let's talk about, though, a win but a big loss at the same time. There were a lot of positives in this game from the offensive side. The line played well. For the most part, Joe played well. Steve Smith had another outstanding game. We talked about Kyle Juszczyk having a good game as well. But the loss of Dennis Pitta with a right hip injury, he's put on IR the other day. He is out for the rest of the year. They have a replacement for him. Obviously, he's not Dennis Pitta, and we'll talk about that replacement in the next segment. But that could be a career-ending injury. It's up to him if he wants to take the chance of coming back and risking injuring again. But, Bruce, I mean, you just hate to see that on a non-contact play, but that is a devastating loss to this offense this year.
It certainly is, and what a fine man, a great locker room guy, and obviously his talents on the football field speak for themselves. But when you see it something like that, it just may not be his time. It's one of those things. Some players go through some things. I remember the great Bo Jackson. All of a sudden, he was playing baseball and the most incredible running back I've ever seen. And then once he hurt that hip, you're playing golf, but you're not playing in the National Football League.
Well, Bruce, it's amazing. You know, what does that really do to a team? You could see when they showed a close-up of Joe Flacco when they were carting Dennis Pitta off the field, you could just see on his face that, you know, how just sad he was to see his friend and his teammate do that, knowing how hard Dennis Pitta worked to get back this year, to get himself in shape, be ready for the season, excited, and you watch one of your teammates know that may be the last time he plays in the NFL. I mean, it has to affect him.
Do you guys feel like, I mean, last year Pitta was out for a good part of the year. That adversely affected the team. However, there were a lot of issues with the offense, so I don't know that Pitta being back last year would have fixed that. It wouldn't have fixed the offensive line, but are we deep enough to overcome that? Owen Daniels played well 2 weeks ago against the Steelers, but he has a history of injury issues. Beyond that, Crockett Gilmore is a rookie, known more for his blocking right now. Bruce, do we have enough in the receiving core in a Gary Kubiak offense, which relies on tight ends and H-backs, to overcome the loss of Dennis Pitta?
No, you're not going to overcome it. You're going to have to make some changes. Some people are going to have to play better. You're going to have to see more of Williams, I think. He's going to have to get in there. And, I mean, Gary's works with that two tights. And the reason it is because it's very hard on defenses when you run it and run it well. If you have two tight ends that first and foremost can catch the football, and Dennis Pitta can stretch the defense downfield. Owen Daniels cannot do that. He'll be a dually kind of guy, this, that, a little hook, but he's not going to stretch the defense down the field to get 18, 25 yards downfield. So they're going to have to come up with something that mirrors that, or you're going to see a lot more Juszczyk.
Well, I guess the question is, and you do have Kyle Juszczyk that you could use in that role as well, granted, but does the offense change a little bit with maybe more of a receiver-driven offense now? A guy like Marlon Brown stepping up. Hopefully they'll get Jacoby Jones on track. He's not had a good couple of weeks for the team. Torrey Smith hasn't played necessarily well. But does this now make it more of a receiver-driven?
Well, I think the key is Eugene Monroe now is going to be out for a few weeks. The key, can the Ravens still run the football? Through 3 weeks, they've been successful doing that. If they continue to run the football, I think it'll help to have the receivers more involved and they can kind of cover the loss of Dennis Pitta. Yeah. So I feel like if the running game stays stout, they have a chance to make the offense still pretty good.
Guys, let's talk about the defense coming into this game. And I know, Bobby, in the last segment you talked about the defense against the run game. And the one rookie, Isaiah Crowell, did have 11 rushes for 55 yards. A lot of that coming on one play, though. If you take that play away, he averages 3 yards a carry. But I thought they did a great job against Terrence West. And the player that stood out to me, Bruce, on the tape was Brandon Williams at nose tackle. He did an excellent job against an All-Pro and Alex Mack. And that kid, I know we talk about Timmy Jernigan having an up-and-coming career, the rookie out of Florida State, but Brandon Williams in his second year showed me a lot in a divisional game Sunday.
Yeah, he really did. And again, that's the push from the defensive side. The defensive mentality is push the offensive line back and get off blocks. Mm-hmm. Don't stay blocked. By getting off blocks, I mean engage and then shed. And a lot of that's got to be the up-front guys. Because like we're talking about with C.J. Mosley, I mean, he's a tall, lanky kid right now. He's going to be putting on the weight as his career expands. But those are kind of hard things when those guards get on your bodies and for linebackers in the back. So a lot of it's got to take place up front.
And I think you've seen Haloti Ngata flash a little bit more this season, and maybe one of the reasons is because of Brandon Williams. He's got some help inside now. And I think Jernigan going out was a big thing this week. Obviously, he didn't play. He probably won't play this week as well. But I do think, as you alluded to, Mike, Brandon Williams is playing well, and that's only going to help the defensive line. The depth there is definitely an issue, though.
I thought, though, our linebackers struggled. I thought the inside linebackers, C.J. Mosley and Darryl Smith.
I thought he had his worst game.
I think they both had bad games. A couple of plays, including the West touchdown, at one point where I thought Darryl Smith took a bad angle. He ended up getting blocked by Joe Thomas, the left tackle, and it was Katie barred the door on that play. I know those guys are capable of playing better, and we've seen flashes of Mosley, Bruce.
Yeah, and they will play better. Mosley's just coming. I mean, he's really maybe just starting to think more of the play call than he was the first game. Mm-hmm. Because as a rookie, and I remember it vividly as a rookie, they would call the defense. I'm going, okay, where do I go? Where do I line up? What am I doing on that thing? And I'm not looking at the offense and thinking about what are they doing, what should I be looking at? I'm just so, where do I go? How do I do that? And you can't play defense that way. I mean, it's got to be instinctively. You hear the play, you know what you're doing. Now, why? What does the offensive lineman show me? Where are these guys? Is it run? Is it pass? What are their tells that I should be looking at and developing as you go to practice weekend and day in and day out to get ready? And a rookie, he's just not there yet. He doesn't understand what I just said, to put it to you mildly.
Bruce, let me come back to you, and then Bobby, I'll have you pick up on it. Clearly secondary issues. Now, Ladarius Webb was not in game shape. He didn't play a lot, and there was one play where Andrew Hawkins faked him out big time and was wide open and did not look very good. He didn't play a lot. Asa Jackson, Shockey Brown got a lot of playing time. But in the secondary, in terms of safety position, that's what you played. Matt Elam, we know coverage isn't his strength, but are there some things that are correctable with him, or does he just not have it at all? Is he strictly an in-the-box player? Because we got to clean that up. Travis Benjamin ran right by him. The kid Gabriel ran a double move, but even if he doesn't make a double move, I mentioned to you off air, I thought he would have ran right by him in front of his face anyway.
Absolutely. If you're going to keep Elam in the hole and deep middle, he just has to play his assignment. He has to understand, I'm going to get back 15 yards, stay there. Now, again, when you're there, you got to favor the most dangerous player. And this is what happened with the other safety in the Cincinnati game. We scored, we came back, and then first thing they do, sudden change, which could be a turnover or a score. Defensively, you're thinking bomb. Someone should have been saying bomb alert in the huddle. I don't think it was probably said. And they let an A.J. Green run a flat 9 route and go by everybody. Went by the corner, and the free safety didn't get over to help. You got to shade that. You got to know where the biggest threat is on your football team, and it didn't happen. That's coachable. You can fix that. Some of the things with Elam you can fix. Pure talent, he's not a guy that should be a deep middle or free safety Ed Reed type. He should be playing strong side, keep him in the mix, keep him a little bit in the running game, keep him in that 15 to 25 yard area to play pass. And that's it. But he doesn't have a free safety instinct.
It means that we might need a better free safety, though, and maybe Terrence Brooks, the rookie, has to play more. 45 seconds, your thoughts on the safety and secondary?
Well, I was disappointed because Elam had such a good game against Pittsburgh, particularly in coverage. He actually played, I thought, pretty
in the slot.
In the slot, yes. And then so in this game, he comes back and follows it up with a bad performance. He had a bad week, just like C.J. Mosley. Mosley has played pretty well. I think this was his worst game so far. So this is, as you know, Bruce, a week-to-week business. The game plan changes, the defense changes, the personnel changes,
the offense changes,
the matchup changes. Yeah, right. So you don't know. That's why you can never get too high on a week when a guy has a good week, and you can never get too low.
All right, well, the one positive out of the secondary, Jimmy Smith continuing to live up to his potential. More of the Ravens Wrap Show to come. Comcast Beach TV, WNBT TV Channel 47, and 93.5 The Beach. Keep it here.
What's this all about?
We're giving Rich the NFL experience of a goal line dive.
Really?
There's an easier way to get an ultimate NFL fan experience. Just snap the tag wherever Bud Light is sold and you could win. Bud Light in the NFL. Here we go.
Can I make it?
On the internet, yes. Into the end zone, no.
Come see us at the Blue Ox.
JC Tickets provides first-class trips to Ravens road games, including airfare, 4-star hotels, game tickets, and cocktail parties. We also help provide great seating locations to all Ravens home games. JC Tickets, where the games begin. Visit us at jctickets.net.